Hello, everyone. My name's Peter Ott, and I'm the author of a book called Floyd In Pieces, and I'm here to read you from Chapter 5, The Yard. The bedroom window affords a wonderful view of the roof of the building behind ours, the upper part of my little tree, and the chunk of the blue sky that's shaped like a horse's head. At least that's what I see when I'm lying here in bed. It's got to be past 9 chimes, but I suppose the hall clock, that isn't a hall clock and still in the box, has now unwound to the point of exhaustion and given up on smacking the bells. Lying in bed in the mornings is a bad thing. I should be in a box too, I think. Just me and the dead clock hanging out, our drive mechanisms idle, our springs unwound. Just keep us taped up in there, shoved against the wall until sometime far into the future when there's some use for us. We're not that different, actually. A face, hands, old brown peeling skin adorning most of our outer body. We creak if we're moved the wrong way, and if we fall, we'd break. If the hall clock had a little mouth hole for some cuckoo bird to pop out once in a while, the image would be complete. We'd be indistinguishable. My eyes suddenly feel full of slivers, causing tears to well up in them that drip down my cheek and wet my pillow. All these thoughts of horse heads and clocks are distractions. They are vain attempts by the 10% of my cold, logical, outer, and protective brain to keep the other 90% from breaking the crust and spreading warm, emotional goo everywhere. I'm aware that cracks in my crust are forming, and I need to patch them up. My hand reaches behind me to stroke her side of the bed, the same bed we shared just a short time ago. My love, my strength. I start sobbing uncontrollably into my pillow and wish only to be gone. I'd give anything to feel her hands rubbing my arm, my back. It'll work out, dear, she'd say. Just take one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. I can hear it. I can see it. The warmth of her face, her mussed-up morning hair, the thin skin around her eyes crinkling up as she smiles at me. She still had all her own teeth. Damn. It's gone, that clear imagined but actualized moment. My outer, protective mind is a plotting, scheming little bitch, exposing these cracks for short times before snatching them away and locking them back within. So now, I'm apparently starting the day pissed off. I decide I'll get this energy out by working in the backyard. People can't see or judge the interior of my boxed sanctuary, but they can the outside. I will attempt to make that presentable. I'm Dutch, and have been brought up with innumerable tales of relatives that planted the best seeds, produced the fattest pigs, milked the milkiest cows, harvested every harvestable crop, and never, ever wilted a flower. These long-dead Dutchmen are rolling in their collective graves seeing this backyard. Still in bed, I look up at the horse-shaped piece of sky and fully expect to see semi-transparent faces peering down at me. They have an unobstructed view of the yard from above. Can I meet their expectations? By the time I get outside, it's almost noon. The sun is out and I'm thankful there's only a single tree to stop the warm rays from hitting me. I'm wearing as little as possible, but that still means heavy jeans and a long-sleeved shirt with the sleeves rolled up. Overdressing is something I got used to over the years of working indoors in the air-conditioned school. I suppose it was always kept cold in there to keep the students from falling asleep. Not that I blame them. The poor buggers had to sit through history, English, sociology, and such mind-numbing verbal clutter blasts as those for hours. I never had any issues with kids falling asleep in my class, at least not that I saw or noticed. Metal shop brings a certain type of kid to it. One that generally wants to get their hands dirty and get skin burned and ears wrung from the devices of the shop. I loved all of it. Even the snot-nosed little dickheads that showed up at the start of every year. You know the ones. They know all of it already. They've been there, done that. Gramps too slow, nice apron, old man. I got those little twits straightened out on the first damn day with a simple stick welding test. Take that, you little farts. I find myself smiling, still gazing up at the sun. A gentle breeze has snapped me back from my time at the school. Those were better days, to be sure. John has stacked my yard tools neatly against the front corner of the side fence where it attaches to the house. Not being sure where to start, I grab a rake and begin clearing leaves and crap from the side flower bed. It looks as though the last owner was around for quite a while given the number of beds here. I find no plants, but the soil is deep black and healthy. I smell it and roll it slowly through my hands just as my dead relatives would have, knowing that they are looking on from above and vibrating with excitement. I'm not sharing their full enthusiasm for all this gardening, although I have to admit, it isn't a terrible way to spend the afternoon. I work my way towards the back fence, enjoying being out and feeling like an explorer seeing a foreign land for the first time. I spot a hole at the bottom of the fence. My little perimeter's been broken. I get down on my knees as Inspector Floyd and check out the ragged opening. It's actually mostly just soil has been removed. The fence looks intact. The hole is small, about the size of a raccoon or a skunk. Or a Yorkie. I bet the little bugger's been stealing its way across enemy lines. But to what end, I wonder? I go back to the house and grab the shovel, feeling like some honest hard work is about to ensue. I start to push the loose dirt back under the fence when I hear the door open behind me. Shit. Richard. "Afternoon," he says in a thick accent that's some type of British. I straighten up, using the shovel as a crutch, and walk several steps towards him. I hope he doesn't hear the same popping and groaning of joints that I do. He's standing in his open door, hands in his pockets, and an old smoking pipe in his mouth. He's got on a thick, cream-colored wool sweater complete with elbow patches, which is crazy considering the day's temperature. His brown shorts seem strangely out of place in the ensemble. "Hello," I reply. "Nice day to be out." I want to comment on his exposed, knobby knees, but don't. It could be. He steps out of the doorway onto the cement, obviously not giving a lick about how the weather is. "I see you have found the passageway employed by our local scoundrel." He points towards my partially filled fence hole with his pipe. I notice Richard's hair for the first time. It looks like someone's taken a pillow apart and stapled the white fluff to his scalp. It's impossibly wild. "Doesn't look bad," I say, not wanting to invite a battle. "I'll just push it back in. No harm done." "Not good enough." He walks down towards the fence, staying on his side of the invisible line that marks our domains. "That needs concrete. Barbed wire wouldn't hurt either." I look at the hole. "You're kidding. It's just a dog, right? Or is there something more sinister going on here?" He venomously explains that it's been happening since she moved in. "The thing shits on my patio." I laugh and immediately swallow it, but some leaks out. He's intently serious, and his position on the hill above me makes me feel suddenly short and inferior. "I pray each night that the good Lord above takes that woman and her filthy beast from this earth." I watch it. I watch that blasted demon sneak under that fence, come up to my back door and shit right on my goddamn cement. He points to the patio, which, to his credit, does appear to have many dark splotches spread over it. This must have been going on for quite some time, given the number of them. Can't help it. I'm laughing. The type of laughter that you just can't stop and that keeps coming. Waves of it come out of nowhere and envelop me like a warm hug. I double over and fall in the grass. I have tears streaming down my face again, but they taste different. They are good. I start to get up and know that I've done a horrible thing, poking at the monster with a laughing stick. I know I'll be paying the toll for that for some time. I stand up and make ready for a lashing, but I find he's not mad. In fact, he's smiling. "You think that's funny?" He takes a puff on his pipe, waiting for an answer. "I guess I do. Sorry, it seems unlikely the dog's been purposeful in his deposit. But I get it. I'm at least honest, if not really sorry. I brushed the grass off my pants from my stint on the lawn. "Just wait. What's your name?" asked Richard. I realize I haven't yet introduced myself. I'm Floyd. Moved in last week." "Well, you just wait, Floyd." He emphasizes my name. "Your patio has certainly been the focus of the beast's wrath in the past as well. It will wait until your yard looks fine and proper like mine was at one time." He scans his yard for a moment. "I used to give a damn about it, but now look at it. He throws his hands up with such emphasis that I'm surprised the pipe hasn't gone airborne. Really don't see anything bad about the yard, but decide to nod and look agreeable just the same. A bark from across the fence interrupts us. The door slides shut, with the woman remaining on the other side of it looking through the glass, holding a cigarette and watching the dog. We can't see the thing, but it's barking happily and carrying on as it runs a couple laps of the yard. Like us, it's happy to get out of its brick confines. The barking suddenly stops. Richard and I stand there, not moving. I'm staring at the woman. Richard's staring at the hole. After several moments, he quickly points with the pipe and yells, "You frickin' bastard!" A face has appeared in the fence hole and is merrily pushing my freshly replaced dirt back out into my yard. Don't even think about it. Richard moves farther down the hill, waving his pipe. It's painfully obvious. The dog needs to shit, and we're in the way. Before I can react, Richard grabs my shovel and tosses it at the fence. The two collide loudly. The face in the hole disappears and is replaced with the sound of a terrified dog. The Yorkie runs back to the house and to a now open door. The woman is furious. "You've gone too far, Richard, you arrogant bastard." She's shaking her cigarette at him. "My ex-husband's a lawyer. I'm calling him right now. You'll be sorry." "Go back to your soap operas and dresses, you old bat," Richard belts out. "If that thing shits on my lawn one more time, it won't be coming home." The woman grabs the dog and goes back in the house, sliding the heavy glass door closed as emphatically as she can, but it's heavy and moves too slowly to have the impact she's hoped. We continue to stand there staring at her. She hovers there for a moment, gives us both the finger, and moves back into the depths of the house. Richard isn't smiling, but I am. This is fun. I walk the couple of steps over to him and stick out my hand. "Richard, it's nice to have finally met you." He reaches over the imaginary demarcation line and begrudgingly shakes my hand. We've now officially met, and it appears, become disjointed allies in the great war of the fence.